G'day, it's Kim here from Kim's Homestead, and today we're in the kitchen and I'm having a new cooktop and a new oven installed. Now the plumbers and the electricians all rang early and said they would be here bright and early this morning, which is great because I wasn't expecting them until later this afternoon. Anyway, they're wanting to get to work and I have to empty some cupboards. So here is putting in the new cooktop and putting in the new oven. Now the oven won't be quite finished when it's done because the cabinet maker can't get here until the middle of January, which you may be seeing this about that time anyway. It's about 2 weeks before Christmas at the moment, or thereabouts. But anyway, you will see this in a couple of weeks and hopefully I can show you the finished product on this video. So let's get into it. Well, the boys turned up bright and early all right. As you can see, I'm still in my nightie and dressing gown. So once I settled them in, I excused myself while I went and made myself a bit more presentable. So here they're taking out the oven, and then of course they've got to disconnect the back of it, cut off that great big cord, and out the door she goes. Bit of a tight squeeze there, but they managed to get it out quite okay. Now from there, to get the new one in and also to take out the gas cooktop and change it over to an electric one, what they actually have to do is go up into the roof and put in some electrical cabling right from where the electric oven was over the top and down the wall into where the gas cooktop was, or still is actually. So that took quite a while, a lot of thumping and bumping and whatnot, and a lot of cable. He had a little bit of trouble trying to feed it up in past the studs, I suppose you call them, but he eventually got it in okay. Well, there I am. Get out of the way, old girl. Was a bit dark in there. Got to use his flashlight on the phone for that. Now they asked me to make sure that I didn't want gas there again for anything else, because he was going to put a plug in it permanently, so nothing gas could go back on the same line. I said I've got no intentions of it whatsoever, and the government's made it so hard that we can't do that anymore anyway, unless I remodel the whole kitchen, which I'm not going to do. So yes, out with the old gas cooktop. Now here they're making sure that the hole is big enough for the new electric hot plate to go in. I think they've got to actually cut out just a little bit, more or less grind a bit off to make sure it fits in properly. So there's a lot of measuring to take, a lot of little doodads to do. Making sure it's all level and straight, and nothing worse than having it all done and finding out it's crooked. They were really good. They cleaned up thoroughly after themselves, and even during it, as he was grinding it out, one was grinding, the other one held the vacuum to it to make sure that as much of the sawdust was going up the vacuum as humanly possible. Making sure his measurements are all correct. He's got all the outlines correct and straight and level. I've used these electricians before, and I've found that they were very, very good in what they did. If anyone local to me here in the St Rasia area wants a good electrician, just message me and I'm quite happy to send their details through to you. I found that they were very quick, very efficient, reasonably priced. I mean, they are electricians, so they're not going to do the work for free, but I found them very reasonably priced for the work that they do. Here we go, one on the grinder or chippy thing, whatever they call it, and one on the vacuum. Making sure he gets as much of that sawdust out as possible, but of course you're not going to get it all. There's still a little bit that goes flying inside the cupboard and on the floor, but that's all right. They did get a broom and shovel and swept it all out and vacuumed the cupboard out and cleaned up after themselves. They were very good, very professional. That little grindy thing was very, very loud. That's why I pretty much got the sound off. It was just so loud. Hence, that's why they wore the earmuffs. There we go, just checking the measurements again, making sure that they're all correct, and sweeping out the cupboard. And now we're just going to get the new the new electric cooktop and make sure it fits in the hole properly. Put down a piece of foam. There's the new cooktop. Now it's time to wire it all in. Making sure it comes out from the wall correctly and it's got the appropriate protection over it. See how they're always picking up after themselves and sweeping up after themselves? I really like that. Means you're not tripping over bits and pieces when they're gone, and you're not trying to have to dispose of all their rubbish. They pretty much leave things cleaner than when they found them, which is really good. As far as I'm concerned, that's a sign of a professional tradie. Okay, all screwed up and connected up. Now it's time to fit it in. Make sure it's all anchored down properly. And there we go. And here we go with the new oven. First of all, we've got to connect up this one. Now, of course, it's not going to fit into that slot the same way as the old oven did. It will actually sit a lot lower, and that's what I needed, because the old oven was just way too high for me, especially taking out a dish full of hot fat, maybe a roast or anything like that. It was just too high. I don't have the upper strength that I used to have years ago. And so now I need it down a lot lower. So what used to be the grill space is now what they're lowering it to, which is a really good height for me now. And the cavity that is to be left above it, I'm still waiting for the cabinet maker to come. He's got to give me a call and see when he's got some time. And I'm actually going to make a space for my microwave to go above the oven. And here we are, just fitting in the shelves into the oven, making sure that they all fit properly. And Bob's your uncle. She's all ready. Now he'll run it on a cycle to get out that new stinky smell. And also to make sure everything's working correctly. It'll go through a half-hour cycle. He's just making sure it's heating up and it's running through the cycle all right. And just explaining to me how things work. Making sure that I know how to operate it, which was really good of him. But the oven really is very simple, self-explanatory. 2 dials, that's it. Well, wasn't that interesting? The oven looks absolutely fabulous, and so does the new cooktop. The boys did a wonderful job putting it all in and installing it for me. At the moment, the oven's going through its pre-cook cycle, and that's just to cook off any of the oils and that new smell that's in your oven that you don't want in your food. So it's going through about a half-hour cook cycle on one of the elements, and then I have to do a half-hour cook cycle on the baking elements. So let's have a quick look at the oven. So there she is, all prettied up, and it's a lot lower than the other oven because I had a hard time sort of getting into it. I'll just open the door. Now, doesn't that look pretty? It's probably the cleanest you'll see it for a while. And yes, it does have a double glass in the door, which is easily removed for cleaning. The dials are very easy to work out, even for an oldie like me. Very basic and straightforward, which is great. I don't have to be an airline pilot to run the thing. And here's the new cooktop. Once again, fairly basic. Don't have to be an airline pilot to run it. And of course, the new vent on the top. So, I had the big burner to the front so that I could put my canning pot on there without having to reach right over the back to try and empty my canner. And I've still got the 3 little ones around the side that I can cook in or on when I'm canning. I've got the burners. Now I specifically asked for the dials because I had one of those touch ones at the other place, and it used to get so hot I could hardly hold my finger on them to try and turn them off. Whereas these ones, very easy. Look, it's even got numbered dials, which none of my other cooktops have had. You've just had to guess. So this is great. Oh, so there we go with the new cooktops. And yes, my kitchen looks like a disaster at the moment. So I know what I'll be doing this afternoon. Cleaning everything down. Never mind. So that's it from me today. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and a very safe and wonderful New Year. All right, I will see you again with another video very shortly. Goodbye, friends. By the way, if you like this video, give me a hot thumbs up. Bye for now.